is something that I'm recording way beforehand, actually. And it is one of my personal favorite games, one of my personal favorite mods to that game, Kaiserreich in HOI4. Now, those of you will know I'm a history buff. I love history. So this mod is basically, it's a history war game, HOI4. It's a World War II, basically battle simulator. This mod basically is a what-if scenario, and it has so much lore. I would highly recommend looking up the lore. I'm just going to go ahead and start so that I can load while I'm talking. I would highly recommend looking up the lore. It is massive. It is huge. Thank you, Kaiserreich team. I want to know everything. Not at all. It is absolutely huge, and it completely redefines the game. But it's the what-if scenario of what if Germany had won World War II. And basically, if I remember correctly, the lore is that Germany won World War II before America showed up. So America never got whatever it ended up getting from that. But anyway, I'm going to be playing as Germany with Wilhelm II. Actually, we share a name. I don't know if I want to share a name with that man. He was kind of weird. But basically, just to show you the state the world is in right now, I guess I'll go ahead and do everything. You may not care about the more technical aspects of this game, because I personally love them. But I have to build factories, because my people need civilian factories. I've been meaning to do a strategy game, and I figured Kaiserreich gives me enough choices to that I can do this. Okay, and we'll do some civilian factories right there. Right, everything's built. Oh god, this is my least favorite. Oh, that was easy. I don't need a navy. I'm Germany. Who do you think I am? Britain? I'll research some guns. Looks like I'll research a heavy fighter. Sure. I'll research the Ocelot tank, and I'll learn what that is. And then I have to pick my focus. So we have a couple choices. Don't look too much into Black Monday just yet. I'll explain that whenever we get to that event. We have Imperial Restructuring, State of the Economy, Military Expansion, or finish the 1934 Naval Program. And I think what I will do first is probably start the Imperial Restructuring. God, I still have to organize my entire army. So this is great, riveting gameplay, I must say. Oh, that's too many. I'm one short. I can have a total of 24 people in one division, or one general. We'll put them under Erich von Manstein. I think I'll just go ahead and surround Poland. You can never trust the Poles, filthy Poles. That's not foreshadowing at all what I just said. It's not like I already know what happens here. To be fair, I believe it's almost entirely different every time you play it. I have no proof of this. Puts them on the Belgian border, even though we're allies. So just real quick, I'm going to show you. So, following the end of World War I, Germany really kind of did a number to Russia, and really kind of divided them up into a bunch of states. You'll notice Ukraine exists, Belarusia, Lithuania, the United Baltic Duchy, and forced them into a union with them called the Reichspakt. Oh, I zoomed in for no reason. And then we have the Austrian Empire here, who still actually split up into all of its things, although it's significantly more peacefully. And if this ever hits off, I'll probably play through more than just Germany, and you'll get to see what they can do. Then we have France, and France, after losing, they're not communist, they're more socialist. They have the option to go communist, but they're called syndicalists in this world. Britain goes the same, and in fact, actually, Ireland is independent. Let's see what else. Italy gets split in two, with the syndicalist north, and the more normal south. Over here, the U.S. really hasn't changed. Mr. Tent City guy is still in charge. No one's really happy. You know, the Great Depression still happened. The only difference is it didn't really affect the world, because the U.S. wasn't still in its more isolationist phase. Canada is where it gets a little interesting. So Canada, Britain has kicked out its royal family, and if George V has gone to live in Canada and has kept the Entente going, and the Entente is also the non-syndicalist French who fled France and went to live in the African colonies. India split up completely, almost, into 3 different portions, with the syndicalists, the Princely Federation, who I think is actually still is the independent India, and then the Entente India. We have the Australasian Confederation. Japan, really not a lot has changed with Japan. China is... There's a ton of German puppet states now, and colonies all across the world. Colonialization was still a thing, but instead we see it with Germany in charge instead of the UK, like as would normal history be. So I'm going to keep doing what I am doing. I think it'd be a good idea, actually, if I send a military. 14 troops should be enough. I think it would be a good idea if I send a military over to these colonies, just to have some troops in the area. I'll go post them in Singapore. Also, you'll notice some of the names are different of places. That's because technically they're German now. Alright, so we have 6, 8, 10. Alright. Okay, and here we go. So here are some of the more colonial holdings. I'll probably just put both of those guys into the same guy. Call that like Mediterranean force or something. I'll just keep doing that one. We also have a significantly larger navy. Oh, that deserves its own. We have a significantly larger navy. There we go. That's everything. Actually, these guys go hang out on Singapore. I'll just have like a colonial primary force over in Asia right there. Alright, so I have like 11 divisions here. I don't know, go... Here you go. Actually, I'm gonna swap some places here. I'll have the bigger army on the French border. Let the Belgians defend themselves. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Drawing arrows when I should be drawing lines. There we are. Alright, there we go. My navies. Alright, so let's see. We have some Mediterranean fleets, largely subs. And... no, that should be enough. Combine all them. North Africa, Eastern Germany. Combine all AUs. And combine the 2 Horn of Africa ones. Alright, and now I'll let it play for a little while to give them all time. That's for you people. I think that you should probably garrison these areas. And Valletta. Yeah, those are probably good. Oh, there's 5 of you, so I can actually garrison one more place. So if I did that, you'd be fine. What if I did bunkers? That'd be 6. That'd be too many. 7, 5. There you go. Alright, so I'll have those people just basically go run around garrisoning places. The navies, as the navies form, this one did form, and it's a bit big, but I'll leave it alone. Patrolling there. Constitution of the German Kaiserreich. After the crushing defeat of the Second French Empire by forces of the North German Federation, our constitution was signed in 1871 by representatives of the Federation and 4 other states in southern Germany. This new constitutional framework integrated the southern states into the Prussian-led Federation, thus giving the enlarged entity a new identity as the Deutsches Reich. According to the Constitution, milk does. The Empire is a federation of 25 German states. With the title of, I'm not going to say that, or Federation President, was held by the King of Prussia. A figure now invested with the title of Emperor of Germany. We are an emperor. The emperor directly appoints the chancellor, the head of government and chairman of the Bundesrat, the Council of Representatives of the German states. Laws are enacted by both the Bundesrat and the Reichstag, the lower house imperial diet, elected by male Germans above the age of 25 years. With an option to dissolve the Reichstag on a whim, it is clear that the main political power in the German Empire actually rests not in Reichstag, elected by the people, but in the hands of the non-elected German emperor. Another issue is the Prussian three-class voting system, which has remained mostly unchanged since 1849. Over 60 years after the founding of the Kaiserreich, the liberals and social democrats are growing increasingly disgruntled with the status quo, and our constitution may need revisions soon to help us weather the upcoming turbulence. Our constitution guarantees stability, at least. Oh boy, I wish that one was true. Have any of my other neighbors merged? A little more convoy defense. Put them under Karl Donuts. Karl Donuts. Oh man, that's a lot of people under one fleet. Alright. Looks like the two African ones are the last ones. And where would you be? Alright, so one of you is here, one of you is here. Can I tell you to merge? No, okay, you're not going to want to merge. You know what? It's perfectly fine if you both decide to just stay your own separate ways. You defend the Red Sea, West Coast, and Eastern Mediterranean. Where the heck are you, anyway? Oh, you're here. Yeah, you defend the Gulf of Guinea, Cape of Africa, and the Mozambique Channel. There we go. That looks pretty good on all counts. Alright, I can definitely speed up now. Alright, so these people need to be put under a general. These people should honestly probably be put under a different field marshal. Oh, are you guys taking a long way? Alright, you guys are kind of taking the long way. Oh, they've assassinated Kerensky, the filthy Russians. I really hope I don't accidentally sound racist during this. Well, yeah, Russians are a race. Russians are... Oh, what are they a race? They could be an ethnicity more than anything. No, they're definitely a race. Right, and last one under Rundstadt. Time to divide these people up into the actual theaters that they have. Yeah, you're definitely a new theater, and you are a fourth theater. I'm gonna have to move. I have a little recording box here, and it's kind of... well, I guess it'll just stay there. All right, German Theater 1. We'll call this the Eastern Front. We will call this one the Western Front. The Totalist Charter. Mussolini. Oh yeah, Mussolini is a communist in this world. I forgot to mention that one. He's actually a full-blown communist. George V died. Poor thing. Oh yeah, that one's my Asian forces, and this last one are my colonial, or my African garrisons, I guess I'll call them. All right. So now we wait. We can go 5-speed, thankfully, so we can speed through time. We need some resources, apparently. We need some tungsten. That's only one tungsten. Alright. With stagnation of our economy and worsening conditions of our citizens during 1935, our government has decided that in order to restart our economy, we need additional cash. Only available option to amass sufficient capital to help our economy was to force the Russian state to prematurely repay the remaining reparations from the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. During the Berlin Conference in November 1935, President Alexander Kerensky, together with Prime Minister Pavel Milyukov, were forced to accept the premature payment of Brest-Litovsk reparations. With drastic austerity measures, the Russian government was able to prematurely repay the remaining parts of its reparations as they were agreed in the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Sweet. I don't know I don't know why I would complain about that. Screw the Russians. We're Germans. Well, there it is. Alright. Apart from location cities, who cares? Black Monday. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market panic, selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on Monday morning. It took well into the night for the teleprinters to stop sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analyzed, it was clear that the situation had only got worse. The shock of this unprecedented economic catastrophe will, no doubt, be felt over the entire world. The German Golden Age has ended. For now, at least. And it's our job to get it back. I think our best bet is to deal with the economy right now. As you can see, we have a giant, little massive tree. So I guess we'll start working on the state of the economy. I don't really think we can do much else past that. Okay, that was a lot. New colonial administration ever has seen gains in light industrialization, usually cheap and even forced labor. It's voluntary. What are you talking about? This has significantly reduced the cost of manufacturing. You can never have enough guns. Sweet. The Freie Arbeitsdeutschlands, or Free Workers Union of Germany, oh, that's nicer, is an umbrella organization of several trade unions founded during the turbulent period in 1919 during the French Revolution. They have repeatedly denounced the syndicalist terror and therefore been allowed to operate unimpeded until now. However, our intelligence services have produced definite proof that their leaders are in contact with syndicalist organizations in other nations, such as the CNTFAI in Spain. We also suspect that some members may be directly plotting against the Kaiser. We can't take any chances. Financial problems in the colonies. Rising inflation and consequently debased Reichsmark means that state expenses on German colonies have become too great to maintain pre-Black Monday tax codes. Some maverick politicians proposed raising taxes, but raising taxes on German nationals just to aid German colonials would obviously not be popular, especially not under the present economic situation. Most of the Reichstag merely proposes limited financial support for our colonial possessions. What shall we do? So that would kill my stability. That would absolutely murder. I'm already at 10% stability. Honestly, the only one that's really an option is that one. I still have 5 stability. People only kind of hate my... Oh my god. German citizens, panicked by the collapse of the Berlin stock market, are rushing to make bank runs to withdraw their assets. The banks cannot afford to give out such sums, and many are in danger of collapse. Many are clamoring for immediate government intervention to stabilize this unprecedented financial crisis. Close the banks temporarily, guarantee the holdings of private individuals, do nothing. Do nothing is obviously not an option. The financial conservative in me tells me this is the option. Let's hope the financial conservatives were right for once. Alright. People absolutely hate my guts. Black Week comes to an end. The situation hardly improved in the days following Black Monday, which was the start of what became known as Black Week. Panic selling of stocks reached an all-time high as people tried to dump their stocks before they became worthless. When the Berlin stock market closed at the end of the week, the market was as dead as the 11 major economic experts and top executives in Germany had committed suicide. That's a horrible pun. That's a horrible joke. That was a joke. The German government had to act. We must reform the economy. Alright, people hate me slightly less now. We're almost back to 0%. If I got into any wars right now, it would... Let's see, and apparently there's a war going on. Oh my god. In the wake of Black Monday, some of our corporate interests in Poland have gone bankrupt. We have now received news that the Polish government, ever irritated at our economic interest in their country, have moved to seize our corporate assets in their country, effectively removing our control over their economy. This is a disaster. You darn Poles! Look, we already got it bad enough. You don't need to go rubbing it in. We will end you. Look, you don't even have a king. You have a regency council. What do you think you're gonna do? Alright, at least we have a king. Oh, you've also got support. Actually kind of popular. You actually have a lot of war support, too. Why are you gearing up for war, Poland? Agricultural crisis in Middle Europa. During this time of great crisis, the complacent agricultural sector of the German economy has proven to be particularly vulnerable to the economic downturn. With this in mind, several Junkers representing the landed nobility of the Kingdom of Prussia have asked for protectionist legislation and state subsidies for their agricultural production. By imposing tariffs on foreign produce, we will strengthen this vital sector of the Reich's economy and protect our farmers. Unfortunately, such a measure is likely to cause further damage to the economy of our neighbors, dependent as they are on German markets for their food exports. The wheat crop in the Ukraine is particularly vulnerable, and choosing to enact protectionist measures might seriously damage them and our other agrarian partners. We must protect our own present. This will harm our relationship with the Ukraine and weaken their government. I mean, look, I'm already in the negative of political power. Taking a little more. I love my friends. I have to defend my friends, I think. Right, Ukraine? Ukraine, we're friends, right? Mr. something? Oh, God. With the devastating economic situation, many families struggle to earn their daily bread, and the social security net is strained to the breaking point. In recent weeks, the streets of many German cities have been increasingly terrorized by gangs of teenagers. These Halbstarks steal products from the markets and shops, and often money from innocent pedestrians, or commit acts of vandalism to escape boredom and frustration. Great. Few citizens feel safe on the streets anymore, and it is clear that what some in the government might see merely as low-level civic order instead has the makings of total societal breakdown. And they hate me again. This time even more so. I know a way to make teenagers behave. Send them all to war. Although I've heard that's unpopular. The Kenyatta Solf affair. Gallo seizes control of Ecuador. Interesting. Looks like South. I was tempted to do a South America playthrough, but I figured if I was going to do a playthrough of Kaiserreich at all, I had to do Germany. Maybe I'd do a US one if this actually takes off, but who knows. I'm also chugging water like a miser because I felt like trash today. What was I? Right. An unusual case has reached the highest court in the German state. Anti-colonial activist Jomo Kenyatta has brought a class action lawsuit against former Afrikaan Staathalter Wilhelm Solf. The case has become something of an embarrassment as some of the plaintiffs are veterans of the Weltkrieg. It cannot be easily dismissed. They claim that Solf's administration harmed them through policies of illegal land seizures and even abductions and torture, all done with Solf's knowledge and little legal basis. Quietly, the Foreign Office has explained to the government that such things are common and necessary in our colonial administration. They strongly urge we quash the movement. Court has no right to rule on Middle African affairs. What's the worst that can happen if the court case passes? Yeah, I think I'll leave that one alone. Workers in the Rhineland are protesting against the recent anti-leftist actions of our government, especially the scandalous crackdown on the FAUD, which many Rhinish citizens have viewed as a legitimate institution free of serious syndicalist influence and strong in its support for the working man. Hopefully this will not cause tragedy. Don't you do it, France. I see you over there licking your chops. Those filthy French chops. State of the economy is done. Great, so I can actually start focusing on doing things. Subsidies for Siemens, Krupp Steel, or Mauser contracts. There it is. Aftermath of Black Monday. Also, organize the youth. Gets rid of quenched militarism. But I think dealing with our economic woes are probably far more important right now. Oh yeah, let's look at that. When the economy is doing poorly, people care. Qing declared war on Shanqing Tiak. I don't know how to pronounce these words. The death of pious... Oh, Pope. The Pope died. Too bad I'm not Catholic, because I don't care. In fact, where... Oh, there's Rome. Roma. College of Cardinals. First International Congress. Right, so let's see, who did they pick? Syndicalist first move. The Reds are meeting to coordinate their activities, which are definitely aimed against the order we have established in Europe following our victory in Will Creek. We must watch this meeting and analyze its results closely. I think I think here is where they'll decide if they go totalist or syndicalist. If they go totalist, that's them picking communism. If they go syndicalist, that's them picking socialism. Alright, so I'm no longer guaranteeing private holdings. I think that's good. Tibet joined the Great Khanate. Wait a second. Is Mongolia... Mongolia's rising. Look at that man. Roman van Unchemsternberg. Interesting. Communist France. The Reds are clearly set to spread their post as if demonstrably shown during the last session of the elections. We must be prepared for anything. We must be ready. Alright, so they've gone syndicalist. Or at least they're staying syndicalist as of right now. And it looks like, if I had to guess Italy's path, they'll stick syndicalist, because this tends to be the totalist path, and this tends to be the syndicalist path. Hooray! That's done. Now back to my tree and focusing on my life. So let's see. I can either liquidate unprofitable estates, or I can bail out junker estates. People won't like this one. We will lose 5 civilian factories from our core land. This one is just negative 5% stability. What else would I get? I'd get... So once I'm done with this... it would go down to this. Approach Poland. What is... Economic partnership. The president of the Reichsbank has demanded a green light to go with the economic dubbed the According to him, we need to bail out the highly indebted junker if we don't want to trigger an even further descent into chaos. The statesman has recently published the Black Sea, or the need for austerity, in which he demands absolute balance discipline, even if it means losing some companies depending on subsidies. The essay has found a lot of adherence within the populace, and liquidating a few unprofitable companies may be just what we need. Alright, so what do I get after that? I get that, and then the sale of Lyon. You know what? I'm gonna do a bailout. I really hope I'm making the right decisions. That one's going to actually take a while. I have no idea if what I just did is a good idea or not, but I don't know if losing 5 civilian factories is a good idea. So I guess we'll see. In the meantime, we must wait for the world around us to burn, I suppose. Oh my god. That one milk dud really gummed up my mouth. Well, that's probably the last little bit of thing I do. Greece seizes German assets. Thanks to the rippling effects of Black Monday, German investors who held majority shares in Greek factories and mines have been closing those businesses down. In some cases because they're unprofitable, but in others because the investors have gone bankrupt. The Greek government has responded by seizing the companies despite the Treaty of Salonika signed after the war stipulating that our investors have unfettered access to their economy. Many in the government are suggesting we respond harshly and not only apply sanctions but pull all investment out of Greece altogether. Others say the country is only trying to stay afloat. Black Monday has hit all of us hard. So Greece will hate me if I do this. Greece will hate me slightly less if I do that. Or I can leave them be. You know what? We're all trying to cope. I can't. The slow war of attrition between us and the strikers have been won by the government. The strikers, seeing little success in their efforts, have decided to call off their strike. Yes, suck it, strikers. Striking never works. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever. But anyway, looking at the time, that'll be it for episode 1 of this. I have no idea when this is going to go up. I'll probably wait till I record a couple more episodes of this so that I can release them in a timely fashion. If I had to guess, this will be my afternoon series, and Pokemon will stay my morning series. But you know what? Who knows? If this gets more popular, this may find itself taking the prime time spot. But anyway, everyone, see you next time. And I have some special treats coming later. Goodbye.